Namaste to all. A very, very important shloka from Bhagavad Gita, 15 by 15. And the question is very, very powerful question, very useful question for all of us. We must understand the answers to these questions. The question is, you say that Sri Krishna is not Almighty God. I agree. Okay, for argument's sake, I agree with you. But please go to shloka 15 by 15. In 15 by 15, Sri Krishna says very clearly that he is the originator of the knowledge of the Vedas. He is known only through the Vedas. He is the one who is giving memory, who is giving knowledge to all the public. And he is the one who is omnipresent. And further the shloka says he is the one who knows the meaning of the Vedas. So how do you explain this shloka is a question. Beautiful question. Actually we must understand tough questions. And we must understand the right answers to these tough questions in the light of Vedas. Because the shloka itself speaks about Vedas. The shloka is सर्वस्य चाहम हृदि सन्निविष्टो मत्तः स्मृतिर ज्ञानम अपोहनम च वेदैश्च सर्वैर अहम एव वेद्यो वेदांतकृद वेद विदेव चा अहम. Sri Krishna says, Aham sarvasya hridi. That means I am the one who is seated in the hearts of all the living beings. And from me comes the memory, and from me comes the knowledge, and from me comes the forgetfulness also. And I alone am to be known through the knowledge of the Vedas. And I am the author of Vedanta. And I am the knower of the meaning of the Vedas. This is the literal translation of the shloka. So how do we understand this shloka? Before going into the meaning of the shloka, what I would like to say is there is only one meaning possible for this shloka. If you read Gita written by any person in the market, you will understand or you will misunderstand that Sri Krishna is Almighty God. Whereas there is only one right meaning for this shloka, because the right meaning is on the, is known to our eyes if you know the Vedas. Here Sri Krishna says, I am the originator of the Vedas. I am known only through the Vedas. So that means we must go back to Vedas to refer who is Almighty God. And if Almighty God of Vedas matches with this shloka, then it's okay. Let's go to Vedas. In Vedas, Almighty God says, Ajayek Pata, that God never takes birth. And further God says, Akayam, I do not have a body. Asnavirang, I do not have a nervous system. God says in Yajurveda 40 by 8. I do not have a nervous system. Let's compare with Sri Krishna. Did Sri Krishna took birth? Yes, we all know Sri Krishna took birth. So it does not tally with Vedas. And secondly, Sri Krishna had a body. It does not tally with the Vedas. God says, I do not have a body. Sri Krishna had his nervous system. He was a human. But here, God says, I do not have a nervous system. And further in Vedas, God says he does not send messengers. He does not have avatar. He does not send avatars. Because God says in Rig Veda, 3rd Mandal, 56th Sukta, first mantra, God says, my rules and regulations that have been mentioned by me in the Vedas are unchallengeable, unchangeable. Even a complete yogi who is a samadhi tapasvi, who is Brahmalin Yogeshwar, cannot change my rules. Even this entire galaxy, this universe, this big mountains, sun, star, moon, galaxy cannot change my rules, the rules of Vedas. So God abide by his commandments of the Vedas, because Vedas knowledge emanates from Almighty God. So if Sri Krishna says, I alone am to be known by the Vedas, then it clearly says that here Sri Krishna is not speaking. Sri Krishna is in samadhi state. Sri Krishna is a realized yogi. And in samadhi, we all know that in samadhi what happens? Almighty God manifests inside the heart of the yogi. And in samadhi state, when a yogi speaks, it is not the yogi who is speaking, it is Almighty God who is speaking. So Almighty God says in this shloka, I am known by the Vedas. I am the originator of the Vedas. I am omnipresent. See, my Acharya has beautifully written some Rig Veda mantra. He has explained Rig Veda 10 by 49 by 2. Almighty God says in this mantra, the God uses the word aham. Similarly, here Sri Krishna uses the word aham. And God says all humans must worship me by chanting my name only. God says in Rigveda 10 by 49 by 2. In 10 by 49 by 3, God says Aham Kavaye Atakam Shishnatham. That means I, the Almighty God, destroy the sensuality of those great sadhakas who does stuti, prarthana, upasana of me. And further in Rigveda 10 by 68 by 5 and 6 mantra, God says, God illumines the hearts of the aspirants. God illumines the hearts of eligible people with the knowledge of the Vedas, and a yogi always chants Vedas with the inspiration that is originated from Almighty God. And further, God says in Rigveda 10 by 70 by 1, Jigyasu, that means an aspirant must worship that Almighty God by stuti, by daily prarthana, by upasana. Thereby, Almighty God manifests inside the heart of those aspirants. See here, the first sentence of Sri Krishna is Sarvasya Chaham Hridi, that I am inside the heart of all the living beings. So, here my Acharya is trying to prove from the Vedas that it is I am means it is Almighty God, not Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna was a Jivatma. Sri Krishna was a Yogeshwar. Sri Krishna is not firmly established in all the living beings' hearts. It is Almighty God. But here Sri Krishna is speaking on behalf of Almighty God. This we must understand. Rigveda 10 by 112 by 4 and 6 says, yes, true sadhak must always call Almighty God inside his heart. That means when we do meditation, God will manifest inside the heart of a true aspirant, true sadhak. So these are all the proofs from the Vedas. Because Sri Krishna refers to Vedas, we must go to Vedas to understand what is the inner meaning of Sri Krishna's words. Outer meaning, if you read any book from the market, for example, ISKCON Gita, Gita Press Gorakhpur, Mukundananda Swami Gita, or Nityananda, whoever will say that, see, Sri Krishna is Almighty God. See, Sri Krishna only is praised in the Vedas. No. In Vedas, there is no name of Almighty God as Sri Krishna. In Vedas, the name of Almighty God is Om. In Vedas, the name of Almighty God is Som. In Vedas, the name of Almighty God is Agni. Name of Almighty God is Mitra, Varuna, Shiva. All are name of one Almighty God only, but different qualities. So we must always go back to the roots, and for understanding Vedas, we must have the guidance of an Acharya who is a Samadhist yogi. That's why I always say, if you want to understand Gita, please read the Gita written by my Acharya. You spend 100,000 rupees every year on so many unnecessary things. If you spend 400-500 rupees for buying one Gita book, my Acharya has written 4 parts. So 4 parts may cost you maybe 1500-1600 rupees. But 1500-1600 is nothing for the knowledge what you get from these kind of books. So here Sri Krishna says that I am omnipresent, I am living inside the heart of all the living beings. It is not Sri Krishna, it is Almighty God. That's what we must understand. We should not get into the mistake of worshipping the statue of Sri Krishna as, okay, Sri Krishna is Almighty God. No. Statue is Jad. We cannot worship Jad. Almighty God says in Yajurveda that don't worship Jad. Always worship the Chetan. And Chetan is me, myself, Almighty God. And further, we must understand, here Sri Krishna says, I am known only by the Vedas. We must again go to Purusha Sukta, Yajurveda, where God says, Tasmat yajñāt sarvabhuta richaha samani jajjire chandangsi jajjire tasmat yajus tasmad ajayata. That means Yajurved, Rigved, Samved, Atharved, all these are originating from that Almighty God. Tasmat means that Parama Pujaniya Almighty God is the originator of the Vedas. Here Sri Krishna says, I am the originator of the Vedas. So that means it's not Sri Krishna who is speaking, it is Almighty God who is manifested inside the Sri Krishna, because the proof is there in the Vedas. I think Atharveda 4th Kand says very clearly, Rupena Indraha, that yogi in Samadhi is actually me, myself. I only speak inside the yogi. And when a yogi speaks you the Vedas, it is not the yogi who is speaking, it is me who is speaking. That is what we must tally here in this shloka. So it is not Sri Krishna's idol we must worship. It is Almighty God we must worship through the Vedic stuti, prarthana, upasana. And here God says in Yajurveda Purusha Sukta that Rigved, Yajurved, Samved, Atharved is originating from that Almighty God who is formless, who does not take avatar. So let us not get into this mistake of worshipping Sri Krishna as Almighty God. And further, Sri Krishna says in this shloka that I am the one who gives the knowledge, and I am the one who gives the memory, and I am the one who takes out the memory also. Means the correct interpretation is given by my Acharya here. My Acharya says, when the universe gets created, when the knowledge of the Vedas is revealed to the rishis by the power of Almighty God secures that this knowledge is by-hearted by the rishis, by the power of Almighty God. So Smriti means memory. The 4 Vedas gets by-hearted by the rishis due to the power of Almighty God. That's why Sri Krishna says this is a secret. How does a rishi know Vedas? It is the power of Almighty God. Rishi does not have that power. Almighty God uses his power to make sure that the rishi knows the Vedas by heart. And similarly, forgetfulness. There is one word called apohanam. Apohanam means to remove the knowledge. Means when the universe gets destroyed, the knowledge of the Vedas is not existing in the universe because the universe is destroyed. So the knowledge of the Vedas is inside the Almighty God in the time of Pralaya. Again the knowledge will emanate when the next universe gets created. So these are complete secret of the Vedic philosophy. And further Sri Krishna says, I am the author of the Vedanta. What is Vedanta? Vedanta does not mean the present Vedanta which says I am Aham Brahmasmi. No, Vedanta means essence. The Vedic Siddhant of the Vedas is firmly established by Almighty God. That means whichever portion of Vedas you read, you will understand the essence of the Vedas. Any mantra of the Vedas, you will understand the essence of Vedas. My Acharya always says, Vedena Veda. You just need one Veda mantra to know all the Veda mantras. For example, even Gayatri mantra, when my Acharya starts explaining Gayatri mantra, from one Gayatri mantra, from one word Buhu, my Acharya covers hundreds and thousands of Veda mantras. Because Vedas can expand itself. It is such a divine knowledge. Vedena Veda. So, in every Veda mantra, you will find the essence of Vedas. Vedic Siddhant, that is called as Vedant. So, Sri Krishna says, I am the originator of the Vedant. That means God is firmly establishing the Vedic Siddhant inside the Vedas. So, when you read Vedas, you will automatically be master of Vedanta also. That means the Siddhant of the Vedas also. Philosophy of the Vedas. So, this is the secret of 15 by 15. So, 15 by 15 cannot have any other meaning other than this meaning. And further, lastly, Sri Krishna says, I am the one who knows the meaning of the Vedas. My Acharya always says, see, when a yogi is in divine samadhi stage, the yogi gets the meaning of the Vedas in samadhi. That means God knows the meaning, He gives it to the Rishi. And Rishi explains to us in the Yajna, whenever we meet a Rishi, Acharya, he explains the knowledge of the Vedas. The meaning is given by Almighty God inside in Samadhi. See, without meaning, Nirukta says, when you do not know the meaning, it is waste of time. That means you are wasting your life. Without meaning, just chanting mantra, you are wasting your life. You must know the meaning, essence of the Vedas. When you know the meaning, which is explained by a Rishi, then this gives you benefit, this gives you blissfulness, this gives you an inspiration to tapasya. So always know the meaning and then chant the Veda mantra. Okay, if you chant the Veda mantra without meaning, it's okay. Maybe you will get 1% benefit. But if you know the meaning and chant the Veda mantra and follow the meaning in life, you will get 1000%, 100,000% benefit. This is the secret of this shloka. So you try to compare and read the Gita in the market. You can just Google and read it. You will not get a meaning like this because this meaning is written by my Acharya. My Acharya has explained many other Veda mantras. I try to just, because it's difficult to translate in English, I just to try to give you a gist. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.